Okay, so what are all these Team Star rematches about anyway? You know? Do you just fight the boss again? I don't really want to do the other part again. But I will fight the boss again, that's fine. Hello. It's my old pal. Let me guess you're here for a battle. Thanks for answering the call to stage. I'll have you dancing to my tune in no time. We'll see. No giant car this time. What level are you at? Welcome to the main stage. Yeah, okay. 65, that's probably to be expected. Kind of sad for them, because I can just sort of kill them without even thinking about it if I really need to. But we'll go ahead and check it out, I guess, see what's new, if anything. King Gambit. Okay, that's new. Did he even have like a poniard or something the first time? I don't remember. You guys gotta stop sending this guy out like basically first. He's got like that ability or whatever for being sent out. That's like best after everything else is fainted, so. Intimidate. It's okay, it made a little bit of a difference, I guess. What a good boy though, I like new boss stuff. Oh. Crocodile. That might intimidate me again, but we may as well see how far we can get. Gosh, does he only have 5 Pokemon? Hunch Crow. I'll switch out now. It's not really gonna be able to one-shot, and I don't want him to. I don't want her to be knocked out completely. About the bands, what kind of singing have I been doing? I'm not even like playing music, so I don't think you're singing, you're just playing the song, but still. What's the next level flow you got there? Oh, a nice place to go for money, I guess. Okay. Yep, that's all it is. Okay, who's the next one? Probably Fire Girl, I guess. Let's see. You here for a battle? Bring it, I'll blow everything sky high, huh? We'll see. You're a weird one too, ain't you? But let's do this. Oh, goodness. Bulky. Colossal. Armorage. Armorage. Should probably say psychic. Goodness. Oy. I'll try switching out. If it's gonna be using psychic, this should be safe. I'm blowing this battle up. What are you doing? Armor cannon, that's nice. Yep. Cool. Cool. Just kill it. Houndoom. That was true, yeah, because they might have Intimidate. Yeah. Eat it. Oh, I guess he kind of did, actually. Puff hasn't done anything, but she's the first to level up. We're too bright even for me. Yeah, I guess so. Is this like a once per day thing? Or, oh, no, I think if I talk to her again, she's just gonna battle me again. So that's interesting. Good day, Nikki. Comes thou to spar with me? Though I'm grateful for thy coming here, be warned, I shall spare thee no mercy. On guard. Sure. Goodness, you just backflipped like 5 feet into the air. Alright, I get it. Toxapex. That's still fine. I have water absorbed, so whatever. It might baneful bunker me though, and that's gonna be annoying. Oh my gosh, it didn't. It didn't baneful bunker. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Rev of room. Drag out. Okay, I'll switch out. Let someone else have some fun, I guess. You realize there's no real point in protecting, right? You haven't poisoned me or anything. Muck. I mean, yeah, but we're not talking about real life here. Poison takes a while to kill things in this game. Okay, yep, thank you. Let's see. Well, you're the only one that hasn't leveled up. What do you have to say? Yeah, battle. You still be kicking yourself. Yeah, I've never really done that once. Okay. Yeah, there's not really anything I can do against a cleft key. Setting up. Yeah. It's just so delicious. Ugh, it's just so bulky though. Psh. That's what you got, huh? Aqua Taylor Brick Break. Light screen's gone. Reflect should be soon. Yeah, there it is. Dockspin. Okay. Come on, let's try one. Let's try it. Okay. That's cute. And Wigglytuff. It doesn't really matter. It's fine. Balloon. Look at it float. Goodness. Are you talking about fair or not? It's good honest work, I guess. Hello. Final one. If you can handle my full power, yeah. Primate? Not even an Annihilate? Seems odd. I guess you didn't want to kill her Primate. I can respect that. Simeon, I don't know, I'll just probably keep this up as long as I can. Eesh. Oh, what? You have an annihilate too? That's just weird. I don't know. Loser. Toxicroak. And Lucario, okay. I highly doubt that, but you know, confidence is fine. That's cute. Alright, I think just about the only thing left now is to see if we can't get into one final match with Nimona. I'm not sure if you face anyone really different other than that in this. I might cut around a lot. So I guess we'll see what happens. Nurse Miriam, she is new though. Angel of the nurse's office. Alright, let's see. Sidekick, fine. Unless there's a big level spike or something, until we get to Nimona, probably talk a little bit more about my thoughts on the game as a whole, I guess, because I feel like I maybe rambled a little bit and didn't get too much into anything. I mean, kind of, I guess. But I just want to be a little more clear or specific about some things, I guess, or maybe touch on some other things I haven't really touched on at all that I remember. It has been quite a few days since the last time I recorded and kind of talked about things, so I apologize if I start repeating some things or that I've already said or something like that. But I didn't want to be clear, even though I have some issues with certain parts of the ending of this game, story-wise, I do think overall it was a pretty good climax, even still. I still feel like having like the AI professor feels like a little bit of a cop-out in some ways, but I don't think it was terrible. And the last battle was just like a really nice spectacle and everything, especially and like the whole of Area Zero was just pretty neat, and it's just like, especially in Scarlet version, I've always found stuff like that pretty intriguing or fun, even if it's not like the idea of having these primal Pokemon roaming around in this like kind of fantastical sort of setting I've always kind of loved that sort of thing in concept, even though a lot of times when things executed actually turns out kind of terrible. I guess, like, I think I've only seen this movie once, if at all, honestly. Maybe I just more know about it than anything. But I'm just kind of thinking about Journey to the Center of the Earth a little bit, I guess. Which probably isn't all that great of a movie, but it's got a pretty similar concept, and it's always something I was intrigued by. So, like, the whole spectacle and everything is pretty cool. I don't think the game as a whole suffers from having kind of some lackluster environments and stuff like that. There's not a lot of areas like that especially stand out. So a lot of times it does end up kind of feeling like this actual region itself isn't inherently interesting just in the way it looks and stuff. The actual, like, design of the areas, I guess, is mostly fine, you know. There's nice little places where you can get up high and kind of look out and stuff like that, and the gimme gold coins are a decent enough reward for exploring around, along with your general getting materials for TMs and stuff like that. Ow. So this is mostly from like a looks perspective. There's not a lot of areas that are actually all that interesting. Like, you just got your generic snowy mountain. It's probably like the worst defender. That in the desert. The desert just looked so bland. It was just kind of large and meh. But at least they had some nice areas to poke around and stuff. Lots of like nice little hidden spots and stuff like that. Hi, Penny. My VVs and I won't back down. VVs. Yeah, and the cities themselves, I think they generally look fine for the most part. But I don't think it kind of suffers from the fact that there's no real like interiors or anything anymore. It's pretty much just, if you can go into a building, it's just a front for like the restaurants and stuff like that, where you just pick off of a menu, which is kind of boring. I mean, I don't need every building to be able to get into, especially when like you think about Lumio City and Kalos. You can go into most of the buildings and then most of them are just don't have much going on. But like, it still has a decent mixture where you go on and there'll be people who have nice items for you, stuff like that, and that just doesn't really happen in this game. Most of the NPCs, if they get you anything, it's like something specific now. So like most of the items you're just getting from like the overworld or buying them yourself, it feels like. So that's kind of sad. I do like a nice mixture of being able to go into some of the buildings and stuff, even if the people in it just have something kind of interesting to say, rather than everyone having something directly useful. That's, they don't need to do that, so that's fine. But yeah, so generally speaking, the actual looks of the region could use some help. They could have done with some more unique specific environments instead of just kind of making it look like just the old normal world. Basically, you got some grassy plains and some mines and stuff, but nothing like it's all that different or fantastical outside of Area Zero, so. 'Cause I think it was still fun to explore because I still think things were generally set out well, and it's always exciting to like run into a new Pokemon and be like, oh well, what's gonna be here? So it's not like I was bored exploring around. I don't want to get that wrong. It is most of the game, and I thought it was pretty good. I'll also say the Pokemon themselves, I actually like a lot of the new Pokemon, and this is coming off of like Gen 8 and stuff, and that generation in specific I felt like was a lot more hit and miss, and like I never really got behind any of the starters all that much in Gen 8. Like the actual base stage, yes, I think all the base stages ones were incredible, but by the time you got to the final stages I was like, they're just all kind of mid to me. There's not a particular one I am particularly in love with. There's also none of them that I particularly hate, but it was just kind of like nothing, you know? So I do appreciate this one, like even though it's not like I love all of them, I do actually quite like some of the starter evolutions and stuff quite a bit, which is just... And that kind of goes for like, I guess the whole thing where it feels like I generally have better opinions about a lot of these Pokemon, whereas Gen 8 I almost kind of struggled a little bit to find a lot of Pokemon in that one I loved. I mean, there are a few, but most of them were just fine to... I just didn't really care for them all that much. And this generation was kind of the opposite. I either liked most of the Pokemon, not all of them, there's still a few I didn't like, or outright loved quite a few. And the paradox forms especially are pretty cool. Obviously the past ones do speak to my interests a bit more, quite a bit more, and I think their designs are generally more interesting. Especially for like me personally. I was never like a huge fan of like robot stuff. I mean, I don't dislike it, but it also doesn't like do anything for me, you know? It also just kind of brings up some weird sort of lore questions too, I feel like, a little bit more so than the primal past paradox forms, which just kind of feel like, oh well, this is probably just this Pokemon's ancestor, you know? It's like, okay, that makes sense. Making them like more old school primal too, like where they're really feral and stuff like that. I just think it was pretty neat. I think it helps make Area Zero 2 feel more fantastical, a little bit more so than just going in there if all the new Pokemon you see are just kind of like, oh, it's the robot Delibird, you know? Okay, that's a Zoroark. Anyway, yeah. So the Pokemon are great. There's actually generally more of them than there have been in the past too, by quite a bit. There's roughly like 30 more new Pokemon just in this base game than there has been since like Black and White. Just like X and Y onwards, their base games. I already forgot what she was sending out. You were only getting around 70 to 85 new Pokemon. Even including some of the DLCs and stuff. Scizorless is not great. I guess we'll see how it goes at least. Wait. No, we're good. Sorry. I'm sitting there trying to think like, isn't psychic normally effective? But no, that was not one of the types that was updated to be neutral to steel. Steel still resists that. I think it's just ghost and dark that are no longer resisted. I mean, you're probably not gonna win this one, but let's see. Other than that, like, I think the close friend group of like Nimona, Penny, Arvin, those are all pretty good characters. I think Sada and Turo, well, I haven't actually seen Violet's specific ending, but I'm sure Turo's just pretty similar in every way. I do think they're still good. Again, I'm not saying they should have made them like good people or anything like that. I just feel like the whole thing resolved quicker than it should have, I guess, basically. I think it's nice to have these professors that are like so absorbed in their ideal little worlds and like research and stuff that they've kind of sworn off everything else. I still like that angle and everything, so I still think they're pretty interesting characters. And of course, I feel like all the other more minor characters, most of them are pretty good. I do agree. I've seen quite a few people talking about this, and I do think I agree with it. The gym leaders themselves do feel a little less... they feel like a downgrade coming off of Galar and stuff like that. They're not terrible, but they're definitely not the most interesting batch. Still better than X and Y. Character-wise. But, like, not particularly noteworthy either, most of them, except for Larry, of course. He's, like, actually shows up a lot and has a pretty strong, like, character and stuff like that, which is kind of the most that a gym leader can ask for. I mean, I don't need them to be like all these three-dimensional characters or anything, but they can stand out a bit more, and Larry does, unlike pretty much every other gym leader in this generation. The Elite Four are generally fine as well. I feel like they did. Normally, those are the ones that kind of get shafted a bit from just not being around so much. I get it, she's like a history teacher and her main partner is like a ghost type. Anyway. I got a little distracted. I was just trying to say that in a very real sense, this was probably one of the stronger Elite Fours we've ever had, because, like, honestly, you just see them more and stuff. And then you top it off with Gita, and it's just kind of like Gita just, even though she still shows up quite a bit, like, she just doesn't leave any impression really, and then her team doesn't even stand out well, and it's set up poorly too. Like, Glamora is a good lead, but it's not all that helpful as your final Pokemon. It's mostly for setup, so that's pretty weird. And then King Gambit, I touched on this a little bit earlier. That one has a habit of coming out like pretty early, even though it kind of banks on being like the last thing that comes out. So yeah, she was kind of like meh at best, but like, speaking of the devil, but at least she's not like sorry. What I'm trying to say next is She's kind of not even the main champion though anyways, because a lot of the focus is put on Nimona instead, and Nimona's like the real final battle of the Pokemon gym path, more so than Gita ever was. Like, yeah, you're technically a champion at that point, but we all know that like the fight against Nimona was like the real final fight, and Nimona herself is actually pretty good. Like I said, all those three characters that the three different paths focus on are pretty good. Of course, Arven's had the best story, even if it had the worst battles. I think I generally like him and Penny a little bit better than Nimona, but Nimona herself is still pretty great. And I think generally speaking, they're all some of the better rivals we've like ever had. I've never had an issue with the rivals specifically being more nice. She's sending out King Gambit second. So bad. Anyway. Yeah, I never had an issue with the rivals becoming friendly because that's not the thing that feels like is the issue with them. The issue with the friendly rivals is they just made them more bland and just so incredibly uninteresting. Like, they don't really have any character, a lot of them. So yeah, I think they finally managed to make some more friendly characters who managed to actually have some character. So that's nice. It's something they've been capable of. I think the only reason people like the jerk rivals is because they were more noteworthy. Like, you remember Gary because it's pretty different, or Blue rather. You remember Silver because he has an actual bit of a character arc. Anyway, yeah. So on and so forth. I'm not sure there's much else to touch on except for the music, which I didn't ever talk much about during the actual game, but I thought it was pretty good. The soundtrack overall, like, pretty solid. I don't think it quite reaches the same highs that you can get from the same highs that we got during the DS era of the games. But I do think it's a general step up from everything we've been getting in the Switch era, except for, like, with the exception of BDSP, I guess, but that's just because that music is just, like, straight from the DS era. Just remastered, basically. So yeah, like, I mean, the song we're listening to right now is really upbeat and happy and fun and peppy. Like, everything in Area Zero is just great. Really fitting for, like, a final area, especially one like that. Pretty much all the battle themes in this game are at least pretty good. Most of them are at least great, I feel like. The area themes, kind of in the same ballpark for the most part. I mean, a few of them don't really stand out too much, but most of them are pretty good still. It's just kind of a shame that there's not more of them. Like, it's mostly just to split up between northeast, west, and south, and like all of the areas in the northeast, west, and south have like the same theme that plays in those areas. instead of having a variety of different themes and stuff. Yay, I won again. Anyway, so yeah, generally speaking, my biggest problem with the area themes is just the fact that there's not quite enough of them. But the ones we do have are pretty good. Okay, Nimona was not present. I don't know if she's just like a random show up. I'll look into it a little bit more, and if you just have to rematch it until she shows up, I'll probably just cut to when that happens. But yeah, I think I kind of just touched on everything I wanted to at this point, so. Nimona, do you have any idea how long it took me to find you? I don't know, this is like the third time I've done it total, so not too long, I guess. Yeah, so here we are, the final battle, and at least in this recorded part, at least until they release DLC, which it kind of feels like probably will. You're probably wondering where this Golden Go came from. I just decided that I would start leveling up some of the Pokemon I was trading up for raid purposes. So that's Golden Go and Umbreon here. I probably won't use them in this battle unless I absolutely have to, though. So yeah, anyways. Yeah, there's Lycanroc, Palmont. I'm not really scared of that. I guess it's fighting type, but still. Kind of keep forgetting that, to be honest, that it's heart fighting. I think it's fine. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense or anything like that. I just forget. It's a brand new Pokemon, that happens. Okay, Puff, get in there. Goodbye, Gudra. Fourth worm, yeah. Never really got anything that's great against that. I guess I'll see what Yessie can do. Done sparse. I'll just go ahead and stay in. The 3 segment. I actually managed to get that off screen. It took about 74 Dunsparces evolved before I finally got one that became 3 segment. It is 1 in 100 though, so it still makes sense. And Quaquaval. As always, Sorrel, this is your fight, I guess. It has never once done that. Okay. One last terrestrialize, I guess, for the road, you know? This is gonna be completely unnecessary, but it's fun! Does that thing ever stand still? Goodbye. It was nice knowing you. Okay, well, I think that's it. I enjoyed my time with this game. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Maybe I'll see you in the future with this game. Maybe I won't. We'll see what happens. But thanks for watching, and you know, see you with whatever I end up posting next.